Hello, my author friends. I'm so excited to be here with you for our live Q&A that we do every other Thursday. I'm here to answer your questions about self-publishing, launching, and marketing your books and business. I'm Tamara Monosoff. I'm a #1 Amazon bestselling author and I am a book launch strategist. And I help my clients become bestsellers, but most importantly, continue to sell books and other products, programs, and services after the launch as well. So we have so many questions. Thank you so much for sending your questions and also posting in the Author to Income Formula comments. I am going to jump in. We have so many questions already sent to me ahead of time. And then, of course, as you're thinking of them, please do put them into the comments here so I can respond. Say hello. I'm going to put this on the screen, say hello in the chat. And so we can, I can see you. Also, I'm using StreamYard to live stream directly onto Facebook. And so what that means is that in the description, I think it's above this video, there's a link. I'm going to show it to you right now. And it's streamyard.com/Facebook. And if you click on that link, then I can see your profile picture. And so I'll be able to know who I'm speaking with, which would be awesome. All right, so let's dive in. We have so many really amazing questions. I love it. We have the full range from just people getting started to now some of the questions really getting sophisticated, and they're all awesome. No matter where you are in the process, we all have to start somewhere. So please don't feel shy about asking anything because others are also going to benefit from those answers as well. Okay, because you're not alone. We're all in this together. All right, please say hello to me in the chat. Let me jump on over. I see you here, and post your questions as you're thinking of them as well. But I'm going to jump into the ones that people have already posted in comments, and we'll start there, and then we will also of course, answer anything live right now. Oh, thank you. I want to see who just said that. Thank you for the safety of this group. That is such a sweet comment. I love it. And if you can go ahead and if you want to, you can also not post your name, but if you want to, I would love to see who is commenting, and you'll have to go here. Just one, it's like click it again, and you're all done. StreamYard.com, Facebook. And again, I think the link is in the comments above this video. I think it's above this video. Okay, my dears, let's get started. And now I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name. This is a new member of our author family, and it's Saul or Soul. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying it correctly, but I thought this was an excellent question, so I wanted to start here. He asked if he could still become a bestseller with a book that he already has published with a traditional publisher. And that's such a great question, because I think a lot of times we lose hope. Just so you know, in terms of background, some of you know, some of you don't. I started out traditionally published with McGraw-Hill for my first 3 books, and then we did a second edition of one of my books. And so I started out in the traditional, working with a traditional publisher, and then I switched to self-publishing so that I had more control over my content. So we can talk about that. You can ask me questions, but this question is really important because yes, you can become a bestseller even if you're traditionally published, but your book, it needs to happen around the date of your launch. What I mean by that is if your book is a few years old, don't lose hope. You can go back to your publisher and you can say, hey, I would love to relaunch this as a second edition. And in the second edition, McGraw-Hill told me that when you do a second edition, you need to just add about 30% new content. So let's say you already have your book is really buttoned up and it's great, and you may or may not need to update information. If it's a nonfiction book, oftentimes things change so quickly that this is a great opportunity for you to make those, updates and changes so that your book reflects the current time, right? So that's a great opportunity. If your book, for example, though, is a children's story or it's something that is a fiction, and you love the story as it is, you can create bonus content. You could create an interactive component. Right? So you could have fun activities. Let's say I'm going back to the children's book. You could have fun activities for the kids to do. I remember there was one book, I'm sorry, I'm not remembering the name of the author, but I thought it was the coolest thing, where he had a children's book about science. And then he included interactive component with videos to do science experiments in the kitchen with your parent, with the parent nearby, but using baking soda and all these like fun things that you can use just from your kitchen ingredients. And the kids just went wild because they could scan the code on their phone, or their parents could, and then they could have these fun activities with the author. So I just wanted to sprinkle some ideas out there. So you can create this kind of bonus content, or you can actually update your content and then relaunch with your publisher. And so you have a fresh new date with your second edition. But here's the thing. What I learned from working with a traditional publisher is you are one of many books. And so they are not going to focus the attention on your launch like you would, right? So, and another thing which I didn't realize is that they can't send everybody to Amazon. When you send everybody you know to Amazon on launch day, that catapults your book up on the rankings, right? When they're purchasing your book all on that one day. Well, traditional publishers are not allowed to just promote one bookseller. They have to make sure that they're being fair and they're talking about wherever books are sold, right? They cannot say, oh, go purchase this book on Amazon. And so that doesn't mean you can't. So I soon realized this. I think it took me 4 books with traditional, but with McGraw-Hill to realize like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, they're going to do it their way. They are going to post it on Amazon. And so, but that doesn't mean I can't create a launch. Sorry, if you hear the train going by, there's a train with a horn going by. This is what I love about live streaming. You just never know what's going to happen. So you can still orchestrate a successful launch on Amazon simultaneously to your traditional publisher. And what I learned is you just don't really want to talk about it with your traditional publisher, right? You just let them do their thing and then you do your thing, and it worked. So I did that on my second edition of one of my books. It was awesome. I emailed everybody I knew to purchase on that date. I had included other people inside my book. So I asked them all to help. I call them my book ambassadors, people you've included in your book or people that you know and trust that can help you promote your book on launch day. I asked for everybody to tell everybody they knew about the book on launch day. And so I orchestrated a successful Amazon bestseller book launch simultaneous to it being published traditionally. So it's really interesting and exciting because you actually do have the ability to do that and have dramatic, fabulous results. And it's a benefit to the publisher too, obviously, because you're selling more books. So I hope that helps you in terms of thinking if you are traditionally published, but you're feeling like your hands are tied because there's really nothing you can do because you don't have control of your book. They do. So that's just something to think about. All right, let's move on. Let me just move over to comments and make sure. Yay, Ivory, congratulations. Ivory published her book last night on Amazon. That is so exciting. I know how hard you've been working on this. Really great news. Congratulations. Okay, so it says, does the launch day when you send everyone to purchase a copy have to be on the day you publish it? That is an excellent question. No, it doesn't, because what ends up happening is you want to do it though. You want to do it soon because you want this book to be fresh and new when you launch, okay? But what I do is what you did, actually. I do a quiet, I don't usually share this information, but I'm going to right now. I quietly launch the book early because I want to make sure that everything is buttoned up. What do I mean by that? I want to make sure my categories are showing up properly. I want to make sure that the description looks amazing. I want to make sure that my author central, that's where your author photo, your bio, your video introducing your book, your editorial reviews all go there into your author central account. And then you have to connect them to your KDP account. And so I want to make sure that all of those things are buttoned up. So I quietly publish before my launch date. And then I just don't tell anyone because I don't want them to buy the book. I mean, if somebody goes on Amazon and they find your book and they buy it, awesome. But when you're orchestrating a launch, you want to make sure that you're asking everyone to purchase on this one date. So You can quietly publish your book and make sure that everything is just perfect and buttoned up. And then, yes, orchestrating your launch. And you can just say, get it all ready, and then have everybody purchase on a date in like 2 weeks from now. I do recommend that if you haven't published yet, to really map out and plan your launch at least 3 months in advance. But sometimes that's not the case. Like Ivory, it's not too late. Don't worry. So yes, get yourself organized in terms of getting everybody to purchase on that specific date. Okay, I hope that helps. Great question. Okay, let me go to the next question. All right, things to think about when working with a designer on your book cover. Always do a thumbnail test. Okay, I'm bringing this up because it happens so often. First of all, when you are working with a book designer, so if you're working, I'm going to just tell you, if you work with me, the first thing I'm going to ask you is to go to Amazon and share 3 to 5 book cover links of book covers that you love. And then I'm going to ask you what you love about them. Is it the colors? Is it the design? Is it the font? Is it the imagery? What are the elements that you love? Then that information is what you can show the designer. And it is so much, because oftentimes you'll get disappointing results from your designer if you're like, okay, I'm writing a book on whatever it is, and I need a book cover. And the designer is just going, the whole world is out there in terms of design. So you want to make sure to guide them straight, and now give them creative flexibility to do what, share their own brilliance, of course. But they need to know a starting point. It'll save so much time and so much, it'll alleviate frustration on both your designer and your part if you give some guidance. And it's literally as simple as going on to Amazon and showing these 3 to 5 different book covers and sharing what you love about it. Another thing you want to think about is think about the reader, think about your audience, and think about what is the emotional connection you want to create with that book cover. The second someone sees it, you want to stop them from scrolling. You want them to go, oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay, wait, what? Is this something I need? So you want them to lean in when they see your book cover, which brings me to your thumbnail. This is a mistake that I see over and over and over again. And that is, you design this gorgeous cover. You're so excited. You upload it. You're publishing it on Amazon. And then when it's a thumbnail, which means, when you go on Amazon, you're seeing these little book cover images. That's a thumbnail size. And you can't read the title, or you can't read the subtitle. And the subtitles are so important because it's usually the subtitle that talks about who this is for or what the outcome is going to be for the reader. So you have to make sure to do the thumbnail test before you publish your book, so that the reader, when they're searching for your content, they see it, they have to, in 1 second, go, oh, yeah, I get it. That's what I need. So just make sure that you do the thumbnail test. Also, another thing that authors oftentimes don't think about is branding. Are there some brand elements for your business? Let's say you're a consultant, coach, expert, whatever it is, you already have a business logo. What branding elements or colors of your brand can you bring over to your book so that it ties in with your brand, so that your readers start to go, oh yeah, they're starting to recognize you, right? Like, one of the things I try to do is always wear green when I'm live streaming. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you look back at all my live streams, I'm wearing green. In fact, I put blue on today and I was like, no, I just can't do it. So think about branding and what's important in terms of those design elements that you can bring over. And in fact, like if you have a logo that makes sense, that could be at the top of each of your chapters, right? So you can put your brand on the back of the book cover to reinforce your business. So think about those branding elements and how they can strengthen recognizability, visibility, so that people start to go, oh yeah, I remember her, that kind of thing. So something to think about. Okay, I'm going to jump over. Are there any questions before I move on? Oh, you're welcome, Ivory. Okay, please say hello. I see you here, so please say hi in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. All right, here's another question that came in. Let me see. This is from Claudia. Is it true that having a well-edited self-published book with a book cover where someone else is editing and doing the cover can cost $10,000 to $20,000? Uh, it is, the whole range is true. You're going to find that you could go to Upwork.com or Fiverr.com and find editors. I've done the whole range. For one of my books, I paid an editor $10,000 and that was one of my first books. And then as I became more confident in my writing, I said, well, you know what I really need is someone to just make sure that things are said, are grammatically correct, and that I don't have any typos, because that just looks bad. And so I went through Fiverr. I like to test new things out. So I went to Fiverr.com and looked up book editors, and I think I paid $100 got two. I sent my manuscript to one editor who specialized in like punctuation, and the other one who specialized in grammar. And I think I paid $100 for one and $75 for the other. That was it. And it was amazing because they both had completely different edits, which were great, and they both improved my manuscript. Now, the one I paid $10,000 to, amazing. Okay, it was my first book. I was afraid. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm putting myself out there. I have no idea. And this editor, she was really great. So in terms of like really turning my own language into a more popular tone. And so I learned from her, right, as I move forward. So to answer your question, no, you don't have to pay that much. And yes, there are editors that cost that much that are of that caliber. But you just want to make sure that you're presenting your best self, right? This book is a representation of you. So you just want to make sure that it represents you well, and that readers aren't going to get hung up because they're saying that, oh, there are typos, or this feels like a self-published book. It doesn't feel polished. So just think about that. But of course, there's the whole range of possibilities in terms of editing, and you choose what works best for you. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, going back over. Now, here is best way to get started selecting the book categories on Amazon, research competition. Okay, yes. So people are often asking me, well, gosh, how do I select the best categories? Well, first of all, I talked about this in the last Q&A, so I'll just bring it up briefly. But you can see what people are searching on Amazon when you go into the search box, because Amazon is tracking everybody's search. So if think about a string of words that people would use when they're searching for your book. Think about yourself when you're looking for how to do something, or how to solve something, or let's say if you are wanting to learn parenting skills for your teenage kids, then I might say something, you do a string of words like best strategies or best parenting strategies for teenage to help teenage kids. That is not my best example. That was kind of long, or you could just do parenting teenagers better. So play with it though. What is my point? So you put it into that search into Amazon, and Amazon is tracking it. And by the way, when you start typing in parenting and teenagers, you're going to see what people are searching for underneath. It's like magic. So you're going to see, oh my gosh, this is how they're asking it. This is how people are searching. So think about that in terms of searchability. And then you're going to make sure that you get into the appropriate categories that touch on those things, such as parenting. You wouldn't just do parenting, broad parenting, because that's too huge. But you would want to narrow it down to parenting teenagers. Maybe you've got, I'm making this up, phone addiction or something, like how can you take kind of big categories and narrow it down into more niche categories, because you're more likely to hit number one in those niche categories. But here's how you start. That's one way to start searching what people are searching for. But the other really important thing for you to do is to look at your competition. Type in and search for parenting books dealing with teenagers, scroll down on those pages and look down at their categories and see how they're ranking in their categories, and go, oh, wow, I didn't even think of doing that. And so you can copy that and start creating a list of categories, right? So you can start to see, and then when you have like 15 categories, you can only choose 3 now. I used to be 10. They just switched it a couple months ago. So you have to choose 3, but at least create that list and then, revisit the list over a couple of days, over weeks, depending on how much time you have. And then just go, you know what, that one really feels that this one feels better. And you can start to see like which ones are making the most sense. But the best place to start are in those 2 places. One is searching to see how people are searching for your book. And that's also, by the way, how you would you'd put those keywords. You get 7 keywords when you set up your KDP account. What are the keywords people are searching? And you're going to be able to see that. And so you can use those keywords in your description, in your subtitle, and only if it makes sense. Don't put this whole keyword subtitle thing if it's not making sense. But you definitely can put your keywords into your book description, so when people are searching, it comes over. And then the second thing you can do is, as a starting point for categories, is to start looking at what your competitors are doing. So I hope that helps. Okay, let me see any questions so far. I'm not seeing more questions, but as I said, people sent these ahead, so I'm going to just keep on. We have about 9 more minutes together, so please do ask me your questions as they're coming up. I wanted to bring this up because I'm asked over and over and over again. Okay, people say, oh my gosh, can I order 100 copies of my book on launch day? Can I ask my friends to buy, multiple copies on launch day to catapult my book up the Amazon rankings? And the answer is no. It's 1 verified purchase per person. So you need to get as many people as possible to buy a copy of your book on Amazon on launch day. And I wish we could buy a bunch of books, but no, we can't. So just wanted to let you know that, because again, I'm asked that so often. Just the goal really is to, in addition to getting everyone really think and make a list of your ambassadors. Ambassadors are those people that you trust, that you can count on, that love you, support you, or are colleagues that that you've helped each other out. And you can ask them, hey, my book is coming out on this day. Would you help me promote it on social media? Would you be willing to feature me in your newsletter? Would you be willing to have me as a guest on your podcast? Would you be willing to send out an email blast inviting everybody to come to our launch party and get a copy of the book on that date? So be sure to, I remember when my first book came out, I did not tell anyone, I'm not kidding. I did not even ask my friends and family to buy my book. I was just so shy about it. I was like, you're just really putting yourself out there, right? For the first time. And you're just like, oh, it's a lot. I get it. But you got to get over it, because you want to sell that book and you want it to do well. So, and people are going to benefit from your story. If it's a story or if it's nonfiction, what is the message? What is all the expertise that you have from your life that is going to help other people, lift them up in their lives? So your book is important. Your work is important. So you need to share it and not be shy about it. And I know that can feel overwhelming sometimes, but ask anyway. Just ask anyway. And what I have found is that when I ask my ambassadors to help, they're overjoyed, because I don't know how to help. And buying you are going to ask them to buy a book, but that's buying one book. But when they have the ability to help you in a bigger way, it makes people feel good. It makes them feel like they're part of it. So don't be shy about it and just ask. And if people say no, it's okay. I asked for one of my books, I asked really well-known women entrepreneurs if they would allow me to interview them about their struggles, how they overcame them, how they ended up being so successful in their businesses. And I just decided to ask, and 90% of them said yes. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. They just responded and said, yeah, sure. That would be, I'd love to be a part of your book. So, and then they all helped get the word out. You see how that works? So just something to think about. Okay, I'm jumping over. We have about 6 more minutes. A copy of book has been purchased. What about these books we gave away in exchange for a review? Oh, okay, great. That's a great question. Okay, the books that you gave away in exchange for a review, ask them for a review right now. If you gave them copies ahead of time, one of the things that you can do is ask them to do is if you don't want to ask them to purchase a copy because you've already given them a copy. I think that's where you're going, Ivory, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you've given them copies and you are like, you know what, they've already done me this huge favor by reviewing it, I don't feel comfortable asking them to purchase it, although I would ask anyway. Honestly, I would ask anyway. But if that is the case, ask them for the review, and then you just have them send it to you. And then you can go into your Author Central account and you can put those quotes in as editorial reviews. And you can just say to them, you can say in your review, I was fortunate enough to receive a copy of Ivory's book, and then this title of the book, before it was published. And then they can go launch straight into what it is that they think about the book. Then you can take those and you can actually drop them in yourself into your Author Central account, publish it, and it will show up on your KDP page as long as you've connected those two. And it's not hard to connect them. Once your book is published, you go over to Author Central, and it's called Claiming Your Book. So you will go and if you have your account already set up, then you may have already done this, but I'm saying this for the benefit of everyone. If you publish your book, jump on over to Author Central, make sure your bio photo is there. You've got a short little bio. Great opportunity for you to put your website in your bio, invite people to follow you, and I'll tell you why that's important in 1 second. And then there's a place for you to put those editorial reviews. And what I was going to say is claim your book. There's a way for you to claim your book, and they'll show up your book cover because it's matching up with your name. And then you click on it. That's all you have to do and to claim it. And then it won't happen instantly, but like within a day. I mean, Amazon always says it needs 72 hours to do everything, but sometimes it's faster than that. Then those editorial reviews should show up on your Amazon page. Okay. So that's the way to benefit from those reviews that people did ahead of time. Now, to go back to the follow button, on your Author Central page, there is a button that says follow. This is like gold. And so always invite people. So, okay, let me step back. On your Kindle Direct Publishing account, there are two accounts. I don't know why they did this, but you've got Kindle Direct Publishing and you have Author Central. At the top of your book page, when you publish it, you're going to see your name under the title of your book. If it is not blue, it means you have not set up your Author Central account, and you have to link the two. When it's blue, it's hyperlinked. People then can go, oh, I want to learn more about this author. They'll click on it and it'll take them over to your bio. And there's also an opportunity for them to follow you. The beauty of this is if they follow you, then anything that you produce or publish in the future, Amazon will let the people who follow you know through an email. So Amazon is now marketing for you. So be sure and include that in your bio. Just say, be sure and click on the follow button to hear about any new books that I publish in the future or something like that. So I know this is a lot of information, but it's really important that you take advantage of connecting your Author Central account and your Kindle Direct Publishing account so that people can learn more about you. And by the way, that takes me to the video of you introducing your book. And if you have my script, hundreds of authors have downloaded this and used these successfully. It's a super simple script. And if you don't have it, I can post it underneath this video in the comments afterwards. But you need to introduce your book on camera. Keep it really short. 30 seconds would be ideal. I know that's really a short time, but 30 seconds, 2 minutes is like almost too long. Actually, it is too long today. I would try to keep it at a minute long. And you basically tell people in this video, if it's a nonfiction, have you struggled with, have you struggled with this problem? I understand because I have too. And that's why that's what inspired me to write the book. And then you tell them 3 points about how the book's going to help them. And then you have a call to action. Buy the book here, or, follow me on, join my Facebook group, or do whatever action you want them to take. So it's a super simple script. And the beauty of this script is that, or this video that you do, is, first of all, this is a video world. So readers are probably going to click on that video before they even read the book description, right? They're going to go, oh, the author posted a video. You can put it on your Amazon page. By the way, you post it through Author Central, and then it will show up on your KDP on your Amazon page. And then you can use it on your website. You can use that on social media, linking back to the book on Amazon. You can post it on YouTube, linking with a link to Amazon. So you see what I'm saying? Use this one video in multiple ways. It's invaluable. And that way your readers get to know you on a personal level, which is really necessary today. And even if you're shy or an introvert, I understand. You just have to practice. You'll practice your script over and over again. And it takes me, when I'm recording something, like I was just recording a video for the mastermind group, it took me many, many takes. And so I just want you to know that even though I do this all the time, it still takes practice, and it's okay. Okay, I can't believe it. We're already over time. Yikes. Okay, thank you for the fantastic questions. And if you want to, if you have any additional questions, if you're watching the replay, or if I click off and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't ask her this, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'll jump in. I'll answer what I can. I may then save some for our next live Q&A, which is every other Thursday. I hope this session helped you. Also, I have a mastermind group, the Get It Done Mastermind group. Oh, this is really cool. Let me just share my screen really quickly, if you don't mind. I know we're over like 1 minute, but I thought this was kind of exciting because I know that authors get really hung up on how to create a marketing plan for their book marketing and getting ready before the launch and after the launch. So let me see if I can share this. Let's see. Wait, here we go. Sorry, I'm on StreamYard, so this is kind of cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so here we go. Let me get this question off. There we go. And I have another thing on apparently, so let's hide that. There. So just really quick, I'm doing a book marketing program, a mastermind. And what I've learned is that we need to work together, right? It's really hard to do these online classes by yourself, stay motivated. And so I'm actually going to do a 3-month mastermind. It starts on February 13th. And we are going to create your own book marketing plan. This is the template. You get access to this template, and then you can make it your own. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. And we're going to set goals, and we are going to accomplish those goals. Okay. And I'm going to teach you how to really set goals that are achievable. We're going to chunk them down, and there's going to be accountability, and it's going to be so much fun. So if you're interested, let me know. You can here's actually the link. And I would love to hear from you. You can always just email me if you'd like. In fact, why don't I just do this really quickly, and I'll just say, if you don't have my direct email, or you can just post in our group. If you have questions right here, that's my direct email. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for joining. It was such a pleasure to have you. And let me get back on camera. And by the way, during this mastermind, I'm going to teach you how to do this. So if you are interested in learning how to live stream to connect with your audience in a more powerful way, you can use StreamYard like this, or there are other ways to live stream. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. And we are going to have a blast. And I love these Q&As, this time together. So thank you for the fabulous questions. Take good care, and I will see you soon. Bye.